Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps today. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. We're going to be talking St. Meghan Markle. I did a video not long ago where I went through some of the news stories and you guys really seemed to enjoy it. And I went long and kind of told my thoughts and opinions on different news stories like that. And so I wanted to do another one because there's just so much craziness coming out from these two right now. I just think it's kind of a fun way to talk about a bunch of different news stories at once. So let's take a look at what they're talking about and have a conversation about it. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Honk, honk. We are about to get into this, I promise, but I have to tell you, thank you to everybody who's picked up the new merch. And in case you haven't seen it, we now have Not Bloody Likely, one of my all-time favorite sayings. Princess Anne had an incident where somebody was trying to do not nice stuff and take her with him and told her to get out of the car, and she said, not bloody likely. And I love her so much. I really do. And I know it's a saying a lot of us like to say. And so we have it on merch now. So check that out if that's something you're interested in. Thank you to everybody who's picked it up. Honk, honk. All right. So this was shared by, is it Dearcy? And it says melting point of tungsten. Okay. So remember that King Charles called this one's wife Tungsten. And the original poster says, I don't think he meant it as a compliment. So he says, the original poster says, I find it interesting that the melting point of tungsten, they put in the degrees Celsius, the highest melting point of any metal. The massive Sussex juggernaut has finally been turned around, so the press and social media are becoming less and less supportive. Isn't it fun to see? The manic desperation, that's exactly what it is. And that's what I was alluding to when I say there's so much news there's so much news out right now. It's crazy. So this is a great way to cover a bunch of stories because it's manic desperation. That's a great way of saying that. And I think that's why we're getting so many stories right now. Plus, it's my opinion that it's hey, look over here at all this news coming out about them. So that way we won't pay attention, or they hope we won't pay attention to what's going on as far as everything. The legal case with Samantha Markle coming up, with William Scott Earthshot coming up. It's just all no, look over here at us kind of thing. That's my opinion on that. The original poster goes on to say, again, the manic desperation she's evidencing is almost everything she says and does is becoming comical and predictable. Ding, ding, ding. I've been saying the same thing. She's in a cycle. Then there's the gray rocking by the British royal family. That must burn a lot. Oh, I haven't heard of gray rocking. I'm guessing stonewalling, something like that. Anyway, cutting them out. Yep, I think the temperature is definitely climbing and we're getting closer and closer to the melting point, in my honest opinion, of course. Yeah, I agree. It is fun to watch. I love to see them spiral like this. I do think we're headed for some big stuff. Again, I bring up Samantha's court case. I bring up Earthshot. We got Charles's birthday. The Dastardly Duo, I don't use their titles anymore. The Dastardly Duo will not be able to handle not being in the news, so they'll make shit up to try to get themselves in the news, it seems. What else is new, right? Now, I love this. Rare Bumblebee 1803 posted, Tungsten is also toxic. Need I say more? Then we have rootless _ cosmopolite, and it says, and fragile. Fragile, dense, toxic, hard, prone to meltdowns. King Charles is a genius. And then affectionate poet chimes in, tungsten is very ... cheap. It's commonly used as filaments inside light bulbs, but I stress it's cheap. And we will move on, but I had to include this one because it cracked me up because I'm petty. Listen to this. Royal Reindeer replies, it's likely after her website, the TIG. TIG equals tungsten inert gas. Instagram-loving bee wife inadvertently gave herself the gassy, toxic nickname Tungsten. To which, I can't pronounce your name, this one replies, yep, Instagram-loving bee wife thinks she's hot shit in a wine glass, but she's just a cold fart in a Dixie cup. I thought that reply was so funny. It really struck me funny. So I want to share it with y'all. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we are moving on, but I'm editing this now and I just listened to myself back and damn, I sound country. I said y'all. I don't usually say y'all in my videos, but I did. I said y'all. All right, y'all, let's keep going. Okay, this one's fun. I did not know about this one, so let's discuss it. This was shared by Karen Delaney Walker and it says, Flashback Friday, what might have been. We've been deprived of a world of lollies. Let's talk about it. So this is a story associated with it. So apparently back in 2012, she and a friend filed paperwork to try to trademark, I hope I'm saying Lali, lolly? That's how I would say it. Who knows? Don't trust me. I just said y'all. I'm not quite the pronunciation expert here. Okay. So yeah, she apparently had her sights set on the lollipop business, if you can believe that. They had trademark paperwork for the term, and they had an intention of selling their own line of lollipops and drops. Did you know that? I didn't realize that. Long story short, it didn't go anywhere. They ended up abandoning the trademark application like 2 years later. You know, it reminds me of when they were slapping, what was it, Sussex Royal on everything, and the Queen had to tell them to knock that shit off. I'm sure you remember, but in case you don't, allegedly she was trying to, I say she, it was both of them, were trying to slap, trademarks on like pins and cups, and I had heard even like a hotel in the Seychelles or something. It was just so ridiculous. Everything with Sussex Royal, like tchotchkes and all this BS. And again, the royal family, aka the Queen, had to tell them, no, knock that off. Okay, so this was shared, again, original poster, Karen Delaney Walker, before the aspartames, which is a great name for the sugars, started blaming the British royal family / Queen Elizabeth for putting the kibosh on Hank's wife's dream of becoming a confectioner. The trademark application was abandoned 2 years before she supposedly met Hank. All talk, no follow-through has been her brand for years before her ascension to Duchess of Sussex. To whom would Hank's wife have marketed her lollipops? Not children. They despise her. Novelty stores for bachelorette parties? I can see her selling Todger-shaped lollies. What flavor might they have been? Lemon and olive oil? Tiganello and cigarettes? Desperation and failure? Karen Delaney Walker, can I just tell you the laugh that this post gave me? I love it so much. Shall we play the game too, everybody? What would be the flavor of her lollies? What do you think? I'd have to give this some thought. I have to put in the word desperation because that's what's happening right now. She's totally desperate. So desperation and what's the other word I would use? That's tough. Let me know in the comments below. What are her flavors? I'd say desperation and jealousy. That seems to rule everything that she does. So yeah, those are my choices. So Great Gossip came up with the flavors word salad and pretentiousness. That's pretty great too. All right. And then I love this one. You ready? Oh, it's so petty. Is it Cat Class says, it's so funny with those legs of hers. She kind of does look like a lollipop. And while I normally wouldn't say something like that, in this case, yeah, I think it's pretty warranted. That's pretty good. All right, so this one, I just kind of want to brush over. I ended up really going hard into it on the Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, I don't know if it's gone up yet or if this is going up first. It doesn't matter. You'll see it. I go deep into this whole nonsense. There are stories that keep coming out, just like the one you see before you, saying Princess Katherine or Catherine, Princess of Wales, won't be offering an olive branch this year. And I think it's BS, and I think the wife's behind it. Because then it's like it puts it on Catherine. Like it's Catherine's fault that they're not invited to the holiday roast. You know what I mean? No, it's their fault. I don't want to step on the toes of the Patreon. Definitely go watch it if you are a member. If you're thinking about signing up, go watch it over there. But I go deep into it because it's BS. This is just total further smear campaign of Catherine behind the scenes, and I'm not into it. But the original poster says, who could blame her? The gruesome twosome have damaged relationships beyond repair. while demanding apologies. My heart really does feel for Lily and Archie. They're missing out on a loving family. Yeah, my heart feels for Katherine. I think it's such BS what they're doing to her. And obviously, like I said earlier in the video, the wife just operates on jealousy. She's always had a problem with Katherine, and they take it out on her. And this is where I get so pissed at Harry when people are like, oh, you can't blame him because he's married to the controlling one. Yes, I can blame him because he was close with Katherine before. We've all seen the pictures, done videos on what the relationship was like. And then he turns on her too, and he does this crap, and he's just as much to blame, if not more than Meghan for some of this stuff. So screw them both. Is it Cybreeder says, it's for the best. You can't reason with a tiger when your head is in its mouth. They're both lucky that Katherine is probably the most diplomatic person in the family currently. Other mothers would have folded them, I love this, would have folded both of them like a towel after that dress fitting. I did not say it like that, but I basically said the same thing in my video. The fact that Katherine even showed up to their wedding after all that, after everything we've learned about how Katherine was treated, how Princess Charlotte was treated allegedly, all that stuff. I have to say allegedly, but you know what I mean? Like all the allegations we've heard, if it's even kind of a little bit true, the fact that Katherine and William dared show up to that wedding says so much about Katherine. She's so much of a better person than I could ever be. I literally say, I'm stepping on the toes of my video. I said in my video, if it were me and they did that shit to me or my kid, I would photocopy a picture of myself giving them the middle finger and mail that in as my RSVP. So that's the nicest option I could think of for RSVPing. Jay had other ideas that involved toilet functions. Original poster is back to say, I agree, the gruesome twosome were even worse after Philip's funeral. Those two, if given an inch, will steamroll it into a mile. There's no negotiating with terrorists. And those two are that, in my opinion, not just against the British royal family, but the world at large. Horribles bragging about taking out, you can read the rest. Anyway, it put everybody in danger. But Beneficial_T had a reply to that I love that says, give an inch, the wife will take the mic. I thought that was so good. Oh, my bad. The wife has done that 4 times and counting. All right. So this one was shared by Electrical Ad 9212. And this one's title is The War, the Strategy. I thought this was so interesting. They really break it down. Let's discuss it. I have lots to say about this. Let's get into it. Okay. So they say, remember, this was a strategy of Markle and the Moron. And while I do love those names, I feel for the Markle family. I don't want to tie the wife into the Markle family because they seem lovely. So, what else? Murky and I don't know. I'll have to give it some thought. Something in the Moron. I give it some. I just keep thinking to call her Sea Witch. The Sea Witch and the Moron. Lie about the royal family, incite abuse of the royal family, use American and global media to wage war, Oprah, Netflix, Spare, etc. Specifically divide British politics and media with culture wars to destabilize Britain, set up a royal house in America with political influence, act like royals. They go into some examples there. Right upon the social justice movement to wage war by the Eastward accusations. So we all know how that ended up. Yeah, thank you. This perfectly spells out exactly what we've all been so frustrated about. That is exactly their MO. I would just have to add a big ol' bullet point about the play victim. It starts with playing victim. The lies include making themselves victim. You name it. Pick any of these bullet points and it goes back to them playing victim again. So, yeah, I would definitely add that. But otherwise, they nailed it. So then the original poster is comparing, that was their old strategy. Here's their new strategy. Ready? Groom young people from unfortunate backgrounds as meat for their charity imagery. Guerrilla tactics using social media mobs to abuse, slander, incite against William and Katherine. Perform royal halo events word salad speeches and awards, hoax car chase, the near catastrophic car chase, to gain attention and to claim status and security, publish Scobie's book of lies and incitement to open up new battlefront, buy influence in American media to ultimately wage war on Katherine and William. I would go ahead and add an asterisk, and YouTubers and anybody that they don't want speaking out about anything that they're doing. Ally with lobbyists seeking to restrict, well, there you go, free speech. I didn't read this part of it. In America and Britain, exactly that. Ding, ding, ding. Leak and work with, I don't get political here, but just go with it here. Leak and work with leftist activist culturists like Byline Times. I don't care if you're left or right. I don't want to get into that, but I would say, yeah, like the activist cultists. So Byline Times, I really don't know anything about it, but I know it's been showing up a lot lately because they did this whole thing about how they're trying to paint Charles as awful for cutting off the Sussexes back when they left, that whole thing. Well, I mean, it's like, shocker, they're lying about everything, but I know you guys remember, but does nobody remember that it came out that Charles was still funding them? That was one of the things that they had lied about, right? I feel like, the Twilight Zone, when I talk about this stuff, they talked about it, that they're like, oh, he cut us off, no more funding. But then it turned out, the Duchy of Cornwall account, of course, it's made public, so we could see it. They were still given money from that account. Okay, so No Ad posts this. It says, I know enough to never believe a thing that comes out of their mouths. They've cried wolf so many times and invented lie after lie after lie. Believe me, I have been screaming this. How can anybody believe them after proven to be lying so many times? It just blows my mind. We don't even need to defend the royal family at this point. The trash has already taken itself out. I love that. The entire world, except the sugar bots and Markle's 50 different accounts, are already so aware of these talentless, thin-skinned lying grifters. A global joke of the highest order. So well said. That's what I think too. Yeah, they can scream all they want and put out as many fake stories as they want, but it's still kind of hilarious to watch, and why I can't look away. I'm riveted because, yeah, they're a joke. Okay, so more underscore recognition than replies, and I thought this was such a good point. Let's talk about this. Okay, remember when the Oh Please interview, and by the way, that is a great name. I will call it that. Oh Please interview instead of Oprah interview came out. How much excitement it attracted in public discourse around the world regarding the Eastwards, only for Harry to later say that they never called the royal family racist. Remember, he was like, no, it's the press. We didn't call them that. Deep breath. Okay. So I think this is so interesting that they're bringing this back up, because this has been on my mind too, with the Scabies book coming out soon, aka Meghan's book coming out soon. What happens if and when those Eastwards get brought up in this book? How are they going to say? Is it the media doing that? Is that the part that the wife's going to say, oh, I didn't write that? Okay, Meghan. I wanted to end on this comment because I love that they included this picture of Joey. This is shared by Susie M, and it says, it simply defies explanation how these two people can keep on doing what they do. I've never seen anything like it. They absolutely know people can't stand them, because I know they read the comments under the articles about them in all the media. And they're gray-rocked by gray-rocked, I hadn't heard that, by the royal family. And they're ignored by Hollywood. Love it. And yet they still keep on. What other choice do they have, right? They're desperate. We can see it. It's fun to watch. They are like two stubborn toddlers, except for toddlers are cute. Stamping their feet, breaking things, screaming and crying, throwing their toys around the room, etc. But they're adults. It's unbelievable. There's no way to stop hearing them, because they put themselves in the media every other day. I love that. I think that's such a good point. And yeah, and that's ultimately what that's their downfall. nobody was making them stay in the royal family. They were free to leave at any time. I think the whole thing was you can't, we don't have to rehash it, but you can't be in and out of this thing. Just be out. Go live your lives. But no, they can't do it. They have to get attention. They have to stir up drama. They have to make shit up. That's what they do. That's what they're known for. And and they're realizing that nobody gives a crap about them. We just, at this point, are watching the spectacular downfall. And I got to say, it's pretty fun and couldn't have happened to two worse people, right? Anyway, guys, this was a lot of fun. I love talking about this stuff with you all. See what I did there? I said you all, not y'all. I had so much fun talking about this with you guys. You guys are the best. I hope you enjoyed this. Definitely let me know your thoughts. I want to know your lollipop flavors for the wife. And hell, if you want to throw in flavors for doofus, that's fine too. I'm scared. But thank you guys for all the love and support. Of course, we still have Not Bloody Likely available in the merch shop. We have Drunk Goose Club, honk honk everybody. We have all kinds of stuff. Recollections may vary. Check that out. And if you want to further support the show, definitely check out Patreon. Patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. That's where I'm doing the bonus deep dives, the extra episodes. That's where you can become an executive producer, just like the lovely ladies and gentlemen you see on the screen in front of you. Thank you to everybody who supports the show. And thank you guys just for watching and leaving comments and all the kind things you say to me. You don't know how much you make every day better. I appreciate it so much. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. If there's something else you want to talk about, let me know that too. Thank you guys so much and have the best day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.